Hey there! Today we're going to talk about data types and levels of measurement. So you might have the question, how do we summarize and analyze the data that we have? Well, this is actually a very complex question. Different types of data require different display methods and different analyses. So in order to answer this, we must classify our data by both the type and by the level. So let's first talk about those data types. You can have qualitative or categorical data, or quantitative data. So qualitative data consists of values that can be placed into non-numerical categories. They're commonly characteristics, whereas quantitative data consist of values representing counts or measurements. So when we think about those common characteristics, you might think of ethnicity, brand, position on a sports team. And then when we think about those counts and measurements, you might think of number of people in a room, distance traveled, number of errors made on an exam. I want you to pause the video and try out these problems. Be ready to discuss them in groups next class period. And when you're ready, push play. So let's look further into quantitative data. We can actually subdivide it into discrete data, which are data that can take only particular distinct values, such as the number of people in a household, the number of years of education, the number of calendar years, such as 2015, 2016, 2017, or we can subdivide it into continuous data. These are data that can take any value in a given interval. For example, time it takes to run a 5K, the amount of calories burned during physical activity, height of people in a class. So the biggest difference when you're talking about discrete and continuous data is ask yourself, is this something that is counted? In that case, it is probably discrete. Or is this something that is measured? In that case, it is probably continuous. So pause the video, give these problems a try, and when you're ready, push play. Now let's discuss the levels of measurement. Our first is the nominal level of measurement. Here, variables can be described solely by their names, labels, or categories. They do not include ranking or ordering of data. And some examples include hair color, types of tea, or gender. For the ordinal level of measurement, these are data with ranking or an ordering scheme. They're data that cannot be used in a meaningful way for computations. Some examples include sanitation ratings of restaurants in New York, status in school. We also have interval level of measurement. This is where intervals are meaningful, but the ratios are not. So there's no meaningful 0 point. The two most common are altitude and temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. You can go below sea level, you can go below 0 degrees Fahrenheit, but it's not an absolute bottom. And the last one is ratio level of measurement. These intervals and ratios are meaningful. They contain a true 0 point. An example can be distance traveled or the amount of work completed. Here, 0 actually means something. It means you did no work. It means you went no distance. So we like to visually display these different types of data and their levels of measurement through this graphic here. You can see that qualitative data go with the nominal and ordinal levels of measurement. And quantitative data, which we can subdivide into discrete and continuous, each have interval and ratio data associated with them. So now that you know about those, pause the video and give these problems a try. When you're finished, you're complete for the day.